Hello you guys, it's Grace, and today I am going to be doing the Infernal Devices book talk. I am so excited to talk about these books. They are actually my life. I have decided I love them, okay? Okay, so the books in the series are Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. In that order, by Cassandra Clare. I'm just gonna hold the first book because I don't want to hold all three of them. So first I'm gonna talk to you about why it's taken me so gosh darn long to read these books. So basically this series has been one that has been sitting on my shelf for at least a year. I got them, I think, last October. I got these three books. I bought them secondhand and I was planning to read them right away because I had been hearing amazing things about them and I had been meaning to read them for years. Since I finished the Mortal Instruments, I've been meaning to read the Infernal Devices series. So I don't really know why it's taken me so long to read them. Part of the reason I feel like is that I had such high standards for them because the Mortal Instruments, I really enjoyed that series. And then I've been hearing people talking about this series for a long time, and it had such high praises that I was just expecting so much of it, and I didn't want to read it and be let down. So I was kept putting it off, and I was just I don't know if I want to read this. And then also the fact that I had heard a lot of the things about it that I thought it was going to be spoiled because I had heard people talking about it, and I was well, I really don't want to read this now because I've heard a lot of things that happened. Most of the things I heard ended up not being completely true, so I can't really say that affected my reading anyway. And then the other thing is I'm not a huge fan of history. I know a lot of people love history and they love politics, but for me, I don't really like history. So the fact that it took place a long time ago, or at least quite a while ago, 1878. There we go. It takes place in the 1800s, and I just thought that the fact that it takes place, not in present time, which is when I prefer my reading to take place, I thought I wouldn't enjoy it as much. So I just, for a variety of reasons, I just kept putting it off. And I feel like the books I keep putting off and putting off and putting off are the ones I end up liking the most, because Harry Potter, I didn't read that book until last year, and it's now one of my favorite series in the world, and now this series is another one of my favorite series I've ever read, and it was one that I just kept putting off. So I don't know what it is, but apparently I just need to put off every series and it'll make them better. But I just loved it so much. I love the characters. When I read, I find the more attached I am to the characters, the more I enjoy what I'm reading. So I am definitely a character-driven reader. I like plot, and the story definitely does matter, but if you don't have good characters, in my opinion, you can't have a good story. So the fact that these three books have some of the most amazing, relatable, wonderful characters I've ever read about, just, it makes it so much more special. I fangirl so hard over this series. This book talk is going to be completely just me fangirling. I've realized this now. It's not going to be a discussion on plot right now. I'm just going to say it. Reading these books made me giggle. It made me want to cry in some parts. It made me just, all the feels, all of them were in these books. And I love how Cassandra Clare has the ability to get you in so much suspense. She says things and then she'll just completely drop off from that train of thought, and it'll just go into a different person's perspective, or it'll just a different part of the story, and just it won't tell you what happens in that part that's so suspenseful. So you have to discover this for yourself as you go on, and like you eventually just like all the pieces click together, but she's just so good about bringing everything back together at the ending of all those little points that you just were like, what? I appreciate authors who have the ability to do that. I'm just gonna take a moment to talk about Tessa. And also just to talk about women in general in this era. The one thing that really frustrated me but added a lot of character to this series, actually, like the whole series, just knowing about women in that age and how hard it would be for someone like Charlotte to be able to get people to follow her because she's a woman. And I got very frustrated with this, being that I am a woman, so it's rather offensive to think about the times like when women were considered to be like pathetic and like not able to do the same things men can do. So that like frustrated me, but at the same time it was like, yes, Charlotte, you beat all those men and you become everything you want to be. And then Tessa as a character, I really like her. She has that authenticity about her that just kind of makes you want to be her friend, makes you want to get to know her. And I just think that's amazing. Like, if I lived in the same time as Tessa, which technically she could still be alive now, like we could be friends. I would be friends with Tessa. Like, I like her. I like her a lot. She's awesome. And she's so good with words, and she's actually like, she is me. Like, when it comes to books, maybe not our taste in books, but like the fact of how important books are to each of us. Same with Will. Like, us three, we could just talk about books all day long, and I would be okay with that. Like, just books. We could just talk about how much books mean to us and how much the words mean to us. Yeah, I really appreciate how, like, strong-willed she is, and how, like, she learns to, like, do things and follow her heart, and it's just great. Also, Jem and Will, I love them. Like, they are the cutest best friends, especially once you find out, like, their backstory, like, about the day they met, and, like, just the entire time they've been friends. Like, you just start to feel for them as a friend group, and you just love them. And Jem is, like, all musical, and he's, like, just kind, and you just want to, like, be by him because of how just friendly and kind and patient he is. And I just love him. Like, I fell in love with both of them. Like, Will, you cannot beat Will Herondale, you guys. Like, it's not possible. So, just saying. But, like, Jem, he's definitely a close second to me because, and they're completely opposites. They're, like, polar opposites, their personalities, but, like, they're also the same in some ways. So I'm definitely in love with Will. Like, who isn't in love with Will? Let's be real here. Like, if you read the books, you will be in love with Will Herondale. It's just, you will fall in love with Will. Just don't even try not to, because you won't succeed. So anyway, I just love all of the characters. I respect Charlotte. You kind of love Henry and just how awkward he is. Like, everyone in the book, you eventually just start to love, except, like, Mormon, obviously, and, like, the evil ones, you don't love them. But, like, Cassandra Clare is just so good about making lovable characters and just wonderful books. I might have to, like, make an actually detailed discussion about this series, but, like, this is just me blathering on and just telling you, like, everything I love about it, because I want to share this series with everyone, and I think it might be one of my top 5, like, for sure top 5 series, maybe even, like, top 1 or 2. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it if you would like to see more book talks in the future. Comment below if you read this series and what you thought of it, and subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video. Bye!